Good afternoon. I'm here today to share with you the number one way to guarantee that you have success, whatever your definition of success is, in 2019 and beyond. Now, when I start explaining this and I start sharing this, it might seem really simple or really obvious. You might go like, what? It's so much more. So stay tuned. The number one way to guarantee your success in 2019 and beyond is to be and express yourself. Just be you. Now, I know we've heard that since we were probably young. Our parents have probably told us, teachers, friends, just be you. And it's like, oh yeah, that's all well and good. Sounds wonderful. What does that really mean? And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Because showing up and expressing yourself, your authentic self, is the number one way to guarantee success in 2019. Now, I'm not talking about what you think you should do, what your parents think you should do, what the adults in your life, or maybe it's a spouse or friends, what anybody else thinks or expects you should do. I am talking about you, that being inside of you, that inner voice that is just screaming and clawing, or maybe not quite so loudly trying to express itself, but maybe it's a little, I don't know, a little thought, feels like a little tap on the shoulder, a nudge that is saying there's something more, there's something different. Or do you really want to be doing that? Or it's suggesting or screaming that you don't want to be doing what you're doing, or you don't want to be doing it how you're doing it, or you just know there's something more for you. That's what I'm talking about, being you, expressing you. We often go through, and I'm the first one to tell you, I did it for 40 something years. I did what was expected to do. I did what I had learned to do, what I was educated to do, what I was trained to do, what I thought I was supposed to do. And that gave me a pretty good life. I mean, I won't complain. But it's been since I have been listening to my inner voice, my inner guidance, that my life has shown up in really awesome, powerful, magical ways. What I look at when I think about success and why you want to show up as your authentic self, why you want to show up as you, is because it leads to ease, it leads to transformation. We let go of struggle. We have more energy. I created a list. Opportunities show up in ways that you couldn't have imagined. You seem to click and connect to really cool things, really awesome things. Again, new opportunities. Your purpose becomes more clear, and how you express that purpose or share that purpose with others in your life. Hell, magic happens. Magic happens. You have healing that occurs. I can tell you from working with people who come in with pain, who come in with illness, and sometimes chronic pain and illness that has been lasting for, years, sometimes even decades, that when they start listening to that inner voice is when healing starts happening. And what else do I have here on my list? Well, and then you connect to these unlimited possibilities that are just really cool and really fun, and again, maybe not even something that you imagined. Hey, Dawn, welcome. So, what are some of the ways that we can start showing up and expressing who we really are? Being ourself. I created a list for that too, because I was thinking about this today. It's not enough for somebody to just to say to be you, or for even myself to say, you know what, I'm just going to be myself. It is the first step, is deciding, it's choosing to be yourself. And some of the next steps that I found make it easier are surround yourself with people who are willing to support you as you go through this evolution, as you go through this change, because it is going to be different. You're going to be different. Your friends, your family members might be wondering what the heck's going on. So choose some people that are close to you, that you feel comfortable sharing, well, sometimes unexpected things with. People who can support you, even if they're not quite sure what you're talking about at first. Another step, make the choice that your inner voice, that what you are hearing being spoken from you, for you, to you, is the voice that you listen to first, and that you give the most credence and credibility to. Again, we have family and friends who love us, who want the best for us, and in some cases think they know that more than we do. And not to say that they don't have great insight or aren't supportive. At the same time, we are our own experts. We, when we give ourselves the time and the attention, know ourselves the best. We are our own experts, and that's who we should be listening to. Meditation or some other activity that allows you time to get out of your head, to get into your body, that clears out the clutter, the noise of social media and people around you, things that distract you from being able to connect and hear that inner voice. It doesn't have to be meditation. I know some people go, oh, I can't do that. On some level, I'm right there with you. Sometimes meditation can be 5 minutes, but it can also be a walk in the woods, or it can be an art project or writing. There's a lot of ways to be able to clear out the clutter, to be able to connect to that true inner voice that is you, that is trying to get through. Let me see. Be aware of patterns. If you find yourself repeating the same thing over and over again, especially those things that you don't want to be repeating, that is a prime target of something to pay attention to, because there is something for us to listen to become aware of there. And, well, something to uncover, discover about ourselves. Because we don't repeat patterns, especially of those things that we don't like, unless there is something to learn or discover about that. So pay attention to those repeating patterns. And, you know, I'm talking to the people right now who maybe you find yourself, when you get together with other people who say you're too much, or you're over the top, or, well, frankly, that you're too much. My response to that is, how can you be too much of you? You can't be. What's typically is going on is the people that you happen to be spending time with are not operating at the same level that you are, that they're not able to handle where you are. They're not able to handle your energy, your positivity, your, well, whatever it might be that you're showing up with. And so it's something on their end, not something on yours. And I am not talking about the people who are always your energy suckers, that, you know, when you spend time with them, they literally want to drain the life out of you. I'm talking about, the people that you interact with on a regular basis who tend to be upbeat and positive and, well, just probably connected, because they tend to be the ones that others think are too much. I'm also talking about the people who maybe you have worked with a group of people, or you find yourself in different work situations where you know that the way you're expected to act is different than, well, than how you're changing, what you're discovering about yourself. And that's a time to really be aware that you continue to show up from where you are and from how you're operating and from what you're discovering about yourself, what you're knowing about yourself, then kind of shifting into where they are. Sometimes that happens when we find ourselves interacting maybe with people that we used to work with, or used to hang out with. That's shifted in some way, and we find ourselves back in those situations. It can be, well, sometimes easier to move back to the level where you used to be. Continue to vibrate at your higher energy level. Continue to vibrate with that, well, that new brightness that you bring, that new light that you bring. Those that can, well, that can handle that are ready for that, they'll meet you where they are. And then there's another instance that I see this is you're dating, or you're getting to know new people, and there's almost an expectation that you meet them where they are at. And by doing that, and I'm not saying all circumstances, but by doing that, a codependency can develop, or you find yourself limiting yourself to meet where they're living, where they're living from, and that tends to be a limited space. So what does all of this mean? The number one way to guarantee success in 2019 is for you to be you, express you, to make you the priority, for you to listen to your inner guidance, your inner voice, put more credence, more credibility, more priority to you. And by doing that, what you bring to others, what you share with others, how you experience and show up in the world brings more ease. It brings transformation. It brings healing. It brings money. It allows all of these unlimited possibilities to come into being, because that energy is free-flowing. You are free-flowing. And that allows all of these things to come into play. Now, if anything I've said here is of interest to you, feel free to comment. Hey, Cal. Feel free to comment. Feel free to ask questions. I'll definitely respond. And if you want to know more, check out my website, theintuitivephoenix.com. And I'll post some details. I've got lots of events and other things coming up that can help you connect to you, being you, expressing you. Of course, that is one of the ways, too, that you can more fully show up as you and express you. And that's working with a professional. I have done that. It boosted my confidence in a way that, yes, I might have been able to figure it out on my own over time, but I was able to do that much easier, with less struggle, with less hardship than what I would have done on my own. So working with a professional. I'm going to share some of the details of the way that you can work with me in the comments. One of the main ways, if you want to know more, if you want to see how I can support you to guaranteeing your success in 2019, is signing up for my discovery session, 30-minute complimentary session that I'll help you uncover the top 3 blocks that are getting in the way of your guaranteed success in 2019. All right. I'm looking forward to connecting to y'all. I'm sending love, health, and ease in your transformation until we connect again. Talk to you then. Bye.